Hello, fellow YouTubers! This is, I guess, part one of my refurbishing of my Mossberg 472 30-30 lever action, or lever action. If you don't know the story, I got this rifle for free from a friend of mine at work who hadn't shot it in 15 years. And it probably hadn't been cleaned since before then. One of the problems I was having was that it wasn't ejecting rounds. You know, I had bought some 30-30 ammo and I had cycled it through just to see if it was still functioning. And actually pretty much every round except for out of 5, maybe 2 would eject, and not very well. And so I did take the bolt apart, you know, of course, to clean it, and the bolt was filthy. And then I had this little metal piece here, which I had no idea where it came from or what it went to. But I knew one thing is that the ejector wasn't really in good shape at all. So I called, actually I went online, I went to Havelinsales.com for Haviland Sales and Service. They specialize in Mossberg parts. In fact, they're the first ones. I don't know if they're the only ones. They're the first ones I came across that had the extractor for this exact rifle. And it wasn't much. It was $6 shipped. So I think it was like that, $6. So it wasn't much at all. And I want to tell you something about Haviland Sales. The impression I get that it's a small shop. You know, they're not big. There's not really an online ordering form per se. You do fill out blanks, but it doesn't go to an automated thing. You just basically leave your information, and then somebody at the other end just reads it, picks it up, and probably enters all the information manually themselves. But I actually ordered a different piece. I had actually ordered first the barrel band screw because it's missing. And which is why there's this tape here, which of course looks horrendous. And I got an email from Cheryl at Haviland Sales, and she said, basically told me that all they had were the brass ones in stock, and she wanted to make sure that was the one I wanted, or if that was okay. And I said, well, I'd rather have the blue one. Do you have the extractor spring? And she said, well, no, we don't have just the spring, but we've got the whole extractor. And she basically, well, I think it's like $6 ship. Are you interested? Like, yeah, let's go with that, because I need it anyway. So I want to give kudos to Haviland Sales. They're located in Festus, Missouri, and good people there, very nice. Cheryl kept in constant contact with me, just to make sure that you know, I was getting the part that I wanted, and if I had any questions. So this is what it looks like. This is the extractor, and what it was missing, the one in my gun is missing that spring. In fact, I'm going to show it to you. Let's go ahead and take this thing apart. Now, for those of you who've never had a lever gun, the basic field trip is actually quite easy. Now, for this particular gun, it may be a little bit different than from what you Marlin owners are used to. And that's this. You want to take the lever and open it about 90 degrees, or perpendicular to the gun itself. Take a punch. Now, this is a nylon punch. And just push that pin out. And the lever just comes out like that. Don't lose the pin now. And got to hold the hammer down, and here's the bolt. Let me show you the bolt really quick. Now, first of all, it's still kind of dirty. It looks like I still got to clean some. But that firing pin was stuck in the forward position. I actually had to take a punch to knock it out. Here's your extractor. It's just this flat piece of spring steel that's held in place by that roll pin right there. And it has a, I don't know what that's called, but it's like a 2-piece system. When the bolt is, when the lever's up, there's a piece that pushes that back up into place, and so then it's able to, you know, this is where the firing pin strike, or the hammer strikes, which in turn hits the firing pin and, of course, sets it off. I'm going to go ahead and leave this out because I got to clean it anyway. But let me show you the existing extractor. Now, generally speaking, or usually, all you have to do, there's a hole on the other side that you just take a small punch and hit it. But in this case, because the extractor is, I guess, so weak, you don't even need to do that. So this is what the ejector, looks like that came with the gun. You notice it's missing a very important piece, and that's right, it's the spring. And just to see, show you a comparison, here is my new ejector. Old ejector, new ejector. You see the difference there. Now, this piece here, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure it is part of this spring here. It's the same width. It's about the same length as this piece here that comes out of the ejector itself. It was pretty, beat up and dirty, so it's probably been broken for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in and put the gun back together after I clean this bolt. So be right back. Now I tried getting an angle so where I could show you me putting this in the gun, but I just could not find an angle where I could see what I was doing. But basically, if your bolt is in here like that, there's the breech face of the bolt. You want this part here to ride in that channel right there. So then the spring will push the ejector out like that, and it'll eject the round. So that's what I'm going to try to attempt to do in the chamber of this gun. So hang on. Okay, the ejector is now in. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can tell it's now sticking up, whereas before it was just laying flat in the chamber. And let me see if I can get a little pointer thing here to point it out. Oops, make it easier to see. And I mean, that's it right there. If you can see that. I can't, it's kind of hard to tell from my camera if you can see that or not. But that was one of the main problems, and hopefully it'll fix it. Now I've got some other issues with this gun where if I try to close the lever sometimes it'll engage the hammer. So I've got my disassembly guide coming in the mail, hopefully within the next few days, and I'll use that to take this gun apart. And I'll end up doing a series on my escapade through also hopefully tearing this down and bringing it back to firing condition, or what I deem to be firing condition. It'll probably shoot now. I have not had the headspace checked. I just don't have the money to do that right now. So I'll do that hopefully sometime in the future. And as I get parts, as I can afford them, I'll go ahead and post other videos of me putting this thing back together. But thank you so much for suffering through this one, and I hope all of you have a great one.